Today's November the 7th. It's 7:28 in the morning. Sun's just peeking up over the trees right over there. I'm up early. Today's Friday. Tomorrow is a family reunion here at Bible Grove, and I'm actually here by myself. My beautiful wife and kids are coming down later today. And while I'm here by myself and can get some work done, I'm going to start working on digging the holes for this camper cover. And then once I get my holes dug, I can set those posts. My plan is on these, I've got some 16-foot 6x6s that I ordered that are really too long. Or not too long, but longer than I need for the Avion camper cover, which is this one here. And I've got piers in the ground already for that one that are concrete piers. I'm going to use those Simpson clamps or Simpson brackets to mount those. But this one, I think what I'm going to do is just use those 6x6, the 16-footers, and just sink those in the ground. Get them squared up, and then Mr. Bob and I are going to run and get a couple of, well, 20 bags or so of Sackcrete. I'm going to just set them as I go because we got weather coming in. And I feel like I probably won't get as many done as my plan is today. I don't know. I just don't know. I've got an idea on how to stand them up. A 16-foot 6x6 is too heavy for one person. One semi-old dude and another old dude to lift and put into a hole. But I've got an idea of how I can do it. So I'm gonna try that today. And I guess I'm gonna prove myself whether I can actually do it or not. And if I dig this first hole, and this proves to be not what I think it will be, then I may abandon that plan and go back to the other idea, which is to go ahead and dig the holes and then just pour the piers, form all of those up level, and use the Simpson brackets again. But I think I'm going to try to just drop these posts in the hole. Now, is that ideal? No. You'd like to not have the wood in the ground, but this is clay. There is very little microbe material, like what rots wood actually is the microbes in the ground, the water and the microbes in the ground together. But there is so little living material below that once you scratch the surface here, this clay, I think these posts will last for years and years. I mean, for the rest of my life, this is going to be just fine. Anyway, so we're going to try that today. We'll see where we get to. So I'm sitting up right here. I've taken away the debris or the fallen debris. I've gotten down to the topsoil, which is probably just a few inches deep here. And I will get my backer board set here. And as I get those things set up, I'll kind of give you another update. All right, so I'll show you what I've done. This is a known location for a hole. And I want to make sure that my holes go in the ground square. So what I've done is I've run stakes. I set my measurements. I did this initially last week, and I did my diagonal measurements. You can see my two tape measures here. One running this way and one running kind of underneath the camper there. But we know we're very close because if we follow this one out and drag it, we're at literally 39 feet and 2 inches. And if we follow this one out, we're right at same thing, 39 feet 2 inches. So we know these are square, or relatively square, pretty close to square. Once we get the hole dug, we can we'll have to square the posts. The hole is not an exact science. So once you get your hole dug, you can square your post back up. So we've got our stakes in the ground. I've got those hammered in there pretty good. So the next time I put my ropes up or my strings back up, wind them around here, we'll be pretty close to square. And then once we get our poles set, we'll make sure before we put them in concrete that they are setting exactly square, or as close to square as we possibly can for building out here in the woods. But we are going to put a metal roof on it, and we want that to lay out nice. So we know our stakes are in pretty good shape. So we've got stakes here on all four corners. See, stakes there and stakes there. I use those kind of like back, well, it's a backer board with no board, but I could put a board between that and adjust those out pretty easily, because I can find very close to square with those marks on the ground. So I've got that set out, and now it's time to get the auger and start digging. Okay, well, if you want to watch a middle-aged man dig, this may not be the right video for you. Anyway, I put that plastic down, I put a hole in it. What you do, I just don't want to make a mess when I'm doing these. And this little guy here is the perfect height, really, to load dirt off the ground. So with the plastic down and the hole in it, you do your post hole. All your dirt ends up on your plastic, and you can use it like a hoe. That's what I used here, to kind of rake it into one place, and then you know, gently take a rounded nose shovel and put that in there. And it doesn't take any time, and you've got a pretty neat hole. Now, I had to cut a big root out. I hate using a chainsaw underground, because I also hate sharpening chainsaw blades. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get the hole in the spot where you need it. Small root, not a big root, maybe 2.5 inches ish. That was right there, so I don't think it'll hurt the tree at all. And so now the hole is dug, and I've got a path that I'm going to come in here. I'm going to lay out my 6x6 and put the end right there in that spot. Okay, so on this episode of how to badly dent your Airstream, I'm going to stand this post up. I've got some rope rigging, pulley system here. I've got it teetering on this, so I got the end up off the ground. I've got the end in the hole, and I'm going to use this pulley to raise it up, and a control rope on this side to keep it from falling against the camper. Now, that's the plan. I should be able to control everything standing right here. Should being the operative word. We will see how this goes, and it may even fall on me, so I'm gonna try to get out of the way. So we'll see how this goes. Got to control both sides. I need one more rope. Okay, I've added a rope. Should be loose enough. What it has to do is keep it from falling over like it did last time. So I think we will try it again. We'll see. right, well, I've got it in the air. That's the hard part. Not dropping it on your head is the next part. It did not fall in the hole, so it's caught on something. I have a log roller up there. I'm gonna go see if I can grab it with that. Or maybe just get my tamping bar and see if I can stab it down in there that way. But it's a heavy piece of wood. You sure don't want to drop it. Well, all right. Well, it's in there. That was a little hairier, I think, than I would have liked for it to be. I think a one-man job, you can do it, but I mean, you need help. I really should have had help. But it's up there. I'm going to put some kickers out on it and level it up or plumb it and make sure it's good and straight. And then we'll put some concrete in the hole this afternoon. Well, all right. Well, that is one corner post. That only took about 2 hours to do by myself, but it is plumbed up. I got my little level here. I got my stakes in the ground. I've got it kicked off, and I'm about to take my ropes off. As you can see there, that's level. And I may have to just make you trust me on the other one because there we go. That's level. It's hard to film this stuff and do it all at the same time. So we've got a corner post in, and I've got it dug out pretty good around the top, and I'm going to put in, a couple of bags of concrete there and really get that thing firmed up, and probably get my other posts in the same way. What I've decided, one of the things that you really, when you're digging a post hole like this, is you're never going to hit it right where you're planning on hitting it. So I'm off a little bit. So really, if you spend a lot of time laying out square, perfectly square on your front end, and I don't mean like you have to get it within an inch or so, but if you really get it perfect, your hole will be wrong. And so the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to get it as close as you can and walk away from it and get it close, relatively speaking. And then when you start to dig, especially, I started digging here where I knew I was going to hit this root on this big tree right here, but that's where it has to go. So I didn't know exactly where that's going to end up. Now it ended up within about an inch of where I wanted it, but that's going to make everything else adjust out about an inch. So all of my other hole locations are very close, but they're not right on. So now I can go back, and I may even have to, I'm going to pull my strings again, but I think I'm going to have to adjust even my string lines. And so one of the things, you can't get so set out here with all the roots and the rocks and the things. There's not a lot of rock, but when you hit stuff, you hit stuff. You can't get so set in your ways that you can't be flexible. So this went in pretty close to where I wanted it, and so I'll get it set, and then I'm just going to build off of this corner to the best that I can, and that's my plan for this one. So anyway, one up, only 7 more to go. All right, well, I got the second one ready to go. Okay, so we're going to do this one. I've got my plastic set up back here to catch all my debris. My little bucket's ready to go there. I'm clear. Now I'm going to set the plastic up a little bit offset of my actual hole because that one moved out that way due to that root. So I'm going to offset this one out just a little bit and then make the hole just a little bit bigger once I get in there and start digging around. But that should do it. So we'll dig this one out and then measure, get our lines back up, make sure we've got the hole wide enough and long enough. I guess really we can free run it that way. So the only thing I'm really concerned about is that we are 16 inches dead on from the outside edge of that post to the outside edge of this post. So I need to make sure that measurement's going to work out right, and it will, as long as I stay this side of that mark there. So it'll be very close. So we'll just see how that works. Now I pulled a tape measure from the outside of that post and we pulled tight. You can see there, we're right at 16 inches. That's gonna be the outside diameter. So I'm gonna, as they say in the country, waller that out just a little bit and with the post hole digger, and we should be in good shape. So just want to show you the first, to move these big heavy things by yourself. If you get you a toe strap and bring that around, you can put that over your shoulder and get it out here on the end, and you can walk straddling this thing and carry that without much difficulty, just getting the nose of it a few inches off the ground. Then what I do, or what I figured to do, I sound like I've done this 1,000 times, is I've got a really strong little sawhorse here, and I've got that end off the ground, obviously, and I'm going to bring my jaw horse, the big steel one, back, and it's taller, and I'm going to put that one on this end. I'm going to tilt it up a little bit higher and put that jaw horse in there, and that'll get it up off the ground. And then I can, once I've got this end up in the air beyond 30-40 degrees, once I get a cable up in that tree right there, I can pull it up and it won't be that big a deal. That's what I did next door. But try not to carry any of this weight, using the little Rockwell as a lever point. So we tied it off on 4 sides, got it up, got it level, and got it staked. So we're going to get concrete. All we need now is concrete. All right, well, we are back. They've only got 80-pound bags of Sackcrete at Buck's Building Supply. So I'm going to get about 2 bags per hole. I think this will be considerably more than 1 bag, but it may not. I think 2 bags, maybe 1 bag in that one and maybe 2 bags in that one. I'm gonna see if I can dig them out a little bit. I'm gonna dig them out a little bit, and then I'm gonna get the concrete in and make sure that my measurements haven't changed. All right, mixing concrete, gratuitous mixing concrete scene. this is what it looks like to mix concrete. Every time I watch something on YouTube, you have to have everything in the video. So we mix the concrete with a hoe and a bunch of back breaking labor. I like to mix them one bag and then add another bag to it. Yeah, that's about all I can say about mixing concrete. Okay, well, it's about to start raining. It's about 3 o'clock, and the rain's supposed to get here at 4. It rained just for a brief second, just a few minutes ago. So I've got everything cleaned up, but we've got 2 posts plumbed up. And I'm gonna leave these ropes here just because I can. And that one's plumbed up. Vertical, looks good. And that concrete will set up tonight and be hard as a brick tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a family reunion. I probably won't get much work done tomorrow. But I'll get a little bit of work done, maybe late in the afternoon. And maybe get a couple more posts put in. Hopefully I can get all of these posts in by Tuesday. That's my goal. And then back home to teach at Thrive on Wednesday night. So Tuesday, and then maybe Wednesday have sort of a rest day and get our teaching prepared. But I'm gonna go hose off the concrete from everything and batten down the hatches. Mom's gonna be here in a little bit too, and I've got to get that camper right there ready for them. So that's a pretty good day. All right, well, today's Saturday, back from the family reunion. I dug a hole, put my plastic down. I've cleaned up, shoveled up the biggest part of it, and I'm about to put that over there on my dirt pile and make some final measurements. I've pulled my diagonals and then square them together with the diagonals and get it perfectly square, and then we'll have the corner post set. So that's what I'm doing today. Beautiful day, nice and cool. The kids are here. They're out looking for lichens. They're homeschooling, doing some stuff. I'm watching the monitor. I got Ollie back in the fifth wheel, and I got him on the monitor right here. He's taking a nap. So when he wakes up, I'll have to take a break. But yeah, just back at it and get a couple more holes dug and a couple more posts set up. We'll do some more rigging here in a minute with these trees around here to see if we can't stand these up without getting hurt. And that's the main thing. So back at it one more day. There's the third one stood up. Same process, but I found ropes to tie it off on all sides, ratcheted it up, used the same pulleys, tied to that tree, laid it over that thing there, and just pulled it straight up. Give yourself enough slack in all your ropes. So I kind of measured and see how long this one would need to be as it came up. And then what I do is I just set a little screw in there to hold your ropes, keep it from sliding down. And it works pretty good. Now all you gotta do is make your measurements and take your tamping rod and get it squared with the other one and make sure that the outside to outside is 36 inches or 36 feet on this one, and get it turned around there. Probably pull a string line to make sure it's oriented the same as that one, and pour some concrete in this one. Well, it's not exactly a tractor, but it'll work. All right, well, I drug it over here with my four-wheeler, which is awesome to have, using my tow strap. And I got a good hole here ready to go. I was able to put up this one yesterday. Only took about an hour. I'm getting better at it over time. About 40 years ago, my grandfather, on the next piece of property behind us over here, when he was somewhere in his late 70s or early 80s, he built a small log cabin, and I'll put some pictures of it on this video so you could see it. He built it by himself using basically just a come along. He had an old tractor, but the way I understand it, he just used a come along, and he did basically exactly what I'm doing, or a lot like what I'm doing here, finding some trees that can get some vertical lift with some pulleys and a come along, and taking his time. And I was always amazed that he was able to do that, he was able to build that by himself. growing up. And I'm kind of, I don't know, touching base with that can-do spirit that my grandfather had, because I'm here in the woods. The kids went home this morning. Brittany drove home. It's Sunday. It's cold. It's going to get down to about 24 degrees tonight. So I stayed here to winterize campers. And so I've got them winterized, and I'm kind of stuck with an afternoon. I want to see what tomorrow looks like, because I think tomorrow is going to be warmer and sunny in the 50s and sunny. That's a great work day. It's a Monday for me, which means there's not a lot of work to be done at home. So I could stay here and get some more of these inner posts in. So I've got a few hours just to kind of kill this afternoon, and I'm going to try to, well, I guess I'm not going to try. I'm going to do it, because I've put up 3 already, and it's really not hard to do. It is, you got to take your time. You got to get your rigging just right, and once you get it in place, you just, it's the same procedure. You get it secured in 4 directions. You plumb it up. You nail off your kickers, and you mix some concrete, and we'll be done. So that's what we're going to do. Well, I'll see if I can do this with one hand, but I don't think I can. Nah, I'm gonna make a mess. Well, there's number 4. Pretty easy. I mean, they're getting easier as you do them, or as I do them. And I think tomorrow, I'm going to stick around tonight. I'm going to work all day tomorrow. I'm going to try to get these 2, maybe try to get the 4 inside posts all done tomorrow. That would be amazing. I'm going to end up being about 3 bags short on concrete, so I'll have to go back and do that. That's not a big deal. But probably only really worked about an hour on this one today after winterizing all the campers and stuff. So I've got everything pretty well ready for this freeze that's coming in. I'm just kind of cleaning things up here. I also had to winterize the laundry barn. I had to blow out the water lines there. I don't want that water to freeze inside that water pump in that washing machine, because that's a really nice washing machine that my buddy Mikey donated to us, so that's amazing. So yeah, just another pretty good day. You can see all 4 posts there. That's going to be a big camper cover, 16 feet wide, 36 feet long. It'll be about 13 and a half feet tall, big enough to put an RV, a big RV under. And then, kind of envision it with some cafe lights underneath it, and that'll just make it look like we're not just parking campers in the middle of the woods. Even though we're just parking campers in the middle of the woods. I'm burning all of my sacks, my concrete sacks down here. This is a good fire starter. Cold wind blowing in. And it's going to get down to 24 tonight. And that's cold. So I'm not sure how much I'll get done tomorrow. But we shall see. Well, today it turned cold. Actually, last night it turned cold. This is November the 8th. I don't know, it's Monday. I think it's November the 8th. And I'm still here. Kids went home yesterday. I was able to get that pole up yesterday on Sunday. And today, I've come out here. I'm working in the cold. I tried to wait as late as I could to get it to warm up, because it's just down in the high 20s last night. It's really windy. And I'm a toasty, warm guy. I'm not a cold guy. But I've got another hole dug here. And I've got a little 2x4 in the hole. I've got the 6x6 up on my rock my brace there, and I'm ready to start running some ropes to do my rigging.
Already got a rope here. I'll just use it. Well, somehow it got to be almost 2 o'clock. I got the second hole dug. I'm going to go get one more 6x6 in just a minute. First, I'm going to take a break for lunch. It is a windy, cold wind today. But hey, it's coming right along. So we just take our time and we'll plug out this next one here. I probably won't do more than that one today. It's taking a little longer than I wanted to. I'm cold, my phone keeps ringing. There's some other obligations I've got to get to today in town and here locally. And probably just do one more and then work again tomorrow before I head home. Well, all right. Well, today's Tuesday, and I think it's November the 9th. I might be a day off. I think it's the 9th. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. The sun's popped up over there. Beautiful day. Sunny. I mean, you know it's sunny when you can cast a shadow like that. And it's amazing how the seasons change in Tennessee quickly. It got down to about 27 degrees last night. In the camper, I finally got the furnace working. I look good, don't I? Got my hair all sleepy-headed. I threw a little bit of water in it, but I don't have any water on in the camper, so it's kind of, I don't know. Anyway, I watch a lot of YouTube, and one of the guys that I watch is this guy, Dave Whipple, and he's on Bush Radical. You ought to check that out. Bush Radical is the name of his channel, and he builds a lot out in the woods. One guy working, and I think it's interesting to see one guy working just to see what one guy can do out in the middle of nowhere. And so this is sort of my homage to my Dave Whipple, my inner Dave Whipple, I guess. And so yesterday we finished up. I got these inner posts done, the corner posts we had gotten done over the past couple of days. And then yesterday I got these two on this side done, and then the one back there, we finished up with it. And so I've only got one post left to do today to call this thing ready for. I've got some more guys coming that are going to help me set trusses, and then do our purlins and put the roof metal on. And so that'll be a whole different show. That'll be a whole different video series, more than likely. Mr. Bob's going to come over in a little bit. He stopped by yesterday and really wanted to help, and God love him. I just kept telling him to get out of the way, because if this thing starts to fall, I don't want anybody underneath it. I told him he had a overwhelming desire to get underneath something that could crush him, and he needed to do something about that. So I'm off to the side trying to pull it up from a safe distance. He was every time it would start to move, he'd go over there and put his hands on it. I'd say, Bob, let's let the ropes do the work. Let the ropes do it. That's what keeps us from being near it. Anyway, and then I saw a couple of other videos of some crazy young men literally standing these things up by themselves without any ropes. And I thought, wow, their backs are really going to hurt when they get older. It made my back hurt, and I think that's why I'm kind of working slow this morning, is my back's kind of sore from all this. But yeah, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So all you young guys out there that are thinking, why would you go to all this trouble to rig up roping and do it this way? Because you only get one back. And I worked for many years as a physical therapist, and I've seen many, many men younger than me that have blown their backs out and won't have much quality of life ever again because of that. So just because you can doesn't mean you should. There's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. That's a GW thing. You don't just get by on brute force and ignorance. You need to use your brain. And so that's what we're trying to do in this video, just kind of show, a smart and safe way to do these poles. And it's a way that there is a lot of physical labor involved in it. Most of the labor, honestly, is in getting the poles to the hole. Once you get it, there's only one real lift that I have to do. I was telling Bob yesterday, I have to lift that pole up to get it on top of that sawhorse in order to teeter it over there. And honestly, I could do that in stages and not have to lift it as high as I'm lifting it. And I may even do that today and show you that. But anyway, working smart and not working with brute force and ignorance is what we're trying to just show on this video. So we'll get one more pole up. All right, so again, we just put our string line down. That's going to tell us, you know, what's in line here. And luckily we cleared our stake. Sometimes you get your stakes in the way. That doesn't seem to be touching. And this one's off by about, man, I guess that's a good 1/4 of an inch. But that's okay. We're going to be just fine. And if we put that post right in the middle of that spot right there, right where I've got that stake, then that means we're going to be right at 24 inches or 12 feet from the first post. And turn it this way, where I've got that mark right there in the ground, 12 feet from the other post, from my tape all the way down there at that end, all the way down that end. Well, actually, it's from this end. So from my tape from here, so we're right at about 12 feet. So pull tight, you'll see. So we're right at about 12 feet. And if we put it right there, that's about the middle of the 6. So I'm gonna leave that string line there just for a reference, just for a second, then I'll come back and put the auger and start doing it. Yeah, the old back sort of day. It's going to be a slow day. I don't have a tractor. I've been looking for one online, but I can't find a good deal. Had a really great Ford 4000 tractor that I sold. Should have never sold it. But Mr. Bob in Maryland donated a golf cart to us last year. They had bought years ago and set in their garage. Batteries were dead and they didn't use it.
And you wouldn't believe how incredibly useful a golf cart is when you don't have a tractor. So you get you a tow strap on it, catch it somewhere back here, cinch that up good and tight, and then put that front end up on the golf cart, and you just hang on, and it'll pull it. Pretty cool. Bada boom, bada bing. This last little bit, you just got to manually pick it up and go. But you use a tow strap around it. You can kind of get it up over your shoulders. And lift and go. And it's not too bad. It's pretty bad today. I just don't have any strength in my back. You can be my videographer.
Okay.
Okay. So we had to get this high enough for the pull to the next pole to have a mechanical advantage. And I didn't want to lift it because my back hurts, so I used the come along up here. And we're just going to lift it that way. And that's about it. This guy will hold just in case something crazy happens. And this guy takes the pressure off of it. And then we got to strap it in because I think it's going to want to wander this way a little bit. And I've already got a rope set up for this way. How you like your new video job, Bob?
Well, it's pretty good.
Yeah. How does it feel to know you can be replaced by? That's not true, Bob. There is no replacement.
I can assure you that thing right there is more steady.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Might be.
But it won't move with you.
No, that's true. There's a lot of nuance that it won't capture. That's for sure. Okay, we got it that way. Probably need to catch it this way. Let's see. Here. I don't think we'll do it. We'll see. Yeah, see, it's going to want to come this way. Yeah, here it comes. Okay, we'll stop and we'll tie that off. Okay, Bob, do you guarantee that that is plumb?
I'm 99%.
99%? Yeah. What did we decide? It's close enough for government nonprofit work?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's close enough. We got our string down and we're right on our string line. It looks a little kicked out to me, but I think we're okay.
right on our string line. We got our plumb, so we look right down that line there. That sucker goes away just like that and comes back on this side. It's one way you can kind of tell if all your poles are in line, is kind of sneaking them around that look like that. And that looks like that sucker's in pretty good shape. So we're gonna mix up a bag of sackcrete and set it and call it done. Well, all right. Well, that's what she looks like. It's hard to tell what's trees and what's posts. I think you can kind of tell. 4 posts on both sides. Got plumbed out. I think that's gonna make a really good camper cover there. Enough room on this side to walk past, and then enough room on this side that we can finish out some gravel, put little pavers or something in there. And the other thing is, I've got a really great porch swing, and I think I'm gonna hang it in that little section right over there. Once I get the overhang there, the little porch swing will sit there and it'll be out of the rain, and that'll be so cool. Anyway, so I've got everything kind of cleaned back up. All the materials are down there. Bob just went home. It's still cold. The back is still tired. I didn't hurt myself. That's the main thing. I think it's about 1 o'clock. Maybe not quite 1 o'clock. But I'm about to pack it up, head back to Franklin.